Hello science fans, today we are going on an incredible journey. We're going to explore something you see every single day. That's right, we are talking about water. Water is truly amazing stuff, isn't it? It covers most of our planet, but water is more than just wet. It holds a secret, a powerful secret. A secret that can be unlocked with a little bit of science and some cool DIY action. Are you ready to dive in? Consider this. Water has a chemical name. We call it H2O. The H stands for hydrogen, the O stands for oxygen, and the 2 next to the H, that means there are 2 bits of hydrogen for every 1 bit of oxygen. But what if we could gently separate these friends? What if we could get hydrogen all by itself? That would be something, wouldn't it? Well, guess what? We can. We can actually split water molecules. We can break them apart into their basic building blocks. Let's get our science hats on and prepare for some electrifying fun. All right, future scientists and engineers, before we can start splitting water, we need to gather our supplies. Think of it like a recipe for a science experiment. For our DIY HHO generator, we don't need anything too fancy. Many of these items you might already have around your home. The star of our show, a recycled battery. Yes, an old battery can get a new life in our project. Here's what you'll need for your very own HHO generator. First, a clean glass jar or a sturdy plastic container. This will be our reaction chamber. Next, you'll need some stainless steel. 2 pieces will do. Stainless steel screws, bolts, or even plates work great. Then, of course, our power source, a recycled battery. A 9-volt battery is a good start. You'll also need some insulated electrical wire. About 2 feet should be plenty. And for our water, plain tap water will work. But to make it conduct electricity better, we need an electrolyte. A common household item like baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, is perfect. Okay team, it's construction time. Are you ready to assemble your HHO generator? This is where the fun really begins. We're going to take all those cool materials we gathered and put them together. Remember to work carefully and follow each step. Got your safety goggles? Excellent, then let's get building. First, prepare your electrodes. These are the stainless steel pieces. We need to attach a wire to each piece of stainless steel. Strip about 1 inch of insulation from one end of each wire. Wrap the bare wire tightly around one of your stainless steel pieces. Make sure it's a good, snug connection. Do this for both pieces of stainless steel. Next, let's work on the lid of your jar or container. We need to make 2 small holes in the lid. Carefully pass one wire with its attached stainless steel electrode through each hole. Now, fill your jar about 3/4 full with water. Add a teaspoon of baking soda to the water and stir it well until it dissolves. So, you've built your HHO generator. It looks pretty cool, right? But how does it actually work? What's the science magic happening inside that jar? Well, it's not magic, it's electrochemistry. We are using electricity to cause a chemical reaction. Specifically, we're using it to split water molecules, H2O, into hydrogen gas, H2, and oxygen gas, O2. This process has a special name, electrolysis. When you connect the wires from your generator to the battery, you create an electrical circuit. The battery provides the push, the electrical energy. One electrode becomes positive, the anode, and the other becomes negative, the cathode. The baking soda we added helps the water conduct electricity. At the negative electrode, the cathode, something amazing happens. Water molecules, H2O, gain electrons from the current. This causes them to split. They release hydrogen gas, H2, and hydroxide ions, OH. You'll start to see tiny bubbles forming on this electrode. Now this is super important, science explorers. Whenever we do experiments, especially with electricity and gases, safety comes first. Hydrogen gas is amazing, but it's also flammable. That means it can catch fire easily. So we need to be very careful. No open flames, sparks, or anything hot near your HHO generator when it's working or when there's hydrogen around. Your number 1 safety tool? Safety goggles. Wear them every single time you are working with or near your HHO generator. Also, it's a good idea to work in a well-ventilated area. This helps prevent any buildup of hydrogen and oxygen gases. When you're connecting the battery, be careful. Make sure your hands are dry. Electricity and water can be a dangerous mix if you're not cautious. The battery itself might get a little warm, which is normal, but if it gets very hot, disconnect it immediately and let it cool down. So, we've seen how to make hydrogen from water, but why is there so much excitement about hydrogen, especially when we talk about the environment? Well, consider this. Hydrogen is a super clean fuel. When hydrogen is used in a fuel cell to create electricity, or even when it's burned for energy, the main byproduct is water. Imagine a car that only emits water vapor from its tailpipe. How amazing would that be for our air quality and our planet? Think about the fuels we use most commonly today, like gasoline and diesel. These are called fossil fuels. When they burn, they release carbon dioxide, CO2, into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Too much of it traps heat and contributes to climate change. Hydrogen, on the other hand, contains no carbon. So when it combines with oxygen to produce energy, there's no CO2 produced. This makes hydrogen a very attractive option for a cleaner energy future. It's like giving our planet a breath of fresh air. Wow! Take a bow, science adventurer. You've learned about the amazing properties of water. You've gathered your materials. Focusing on recycling, you've carefully built your very own DIY HHO generator. You've witnessed the incredible process of electrolysis, watching water split into hydrogen and oxygen gases right before your eyes. And most importantly, you've learned how to do all of this safely. That's a whole lot of science packed into one awesome project. You should be proud of what you've accomplished. You've become a water-splitting wizard. Remember the core science here. Electricity provides the energy. The baking soda helps the water conduct that electricity. At one electrode, hydrogen bubbles appear. At the other, oxygen bubbles form. It's a beautiful demonstration of how molecules can be transformed. H2O becomes H2 and O2.